Welcome to Grandma's Attic Music Review. Your illustrious host, Dot, is not here today, and I feel so honored that she has welcomed me in and allowed me to sit in today to be with you. My name's Allie Kaufman. You might remember me from WCNI 90.9 FM. I do a show called Morning Mojo, and I am thrilled to be here today, not only to work with this wonderful crew, but the guest today is a young woman that you are going to be so excited that you are watching and get to hear. I have a feeling she's going to get a whole slew of new fans today. I'm going to not take up any more time, and I'm going to hand it right over to the lovely Sophie Spanner.
Hi, I'm Sophie Spanner. I write a lot of original music. So this first song is the most recent song that I've written, and it doesn't have a name yet, but I'm sure it will soon. So. Glove box of secrets and snakeskin, the town called last week for the car, and everyone stood there and watched you as you stumbled out of the bar, so quiet and cold. There you go. The party's abuzz with last weekend, the drama and pain that she caused. Old Mr. Hannigan's sweetheart, she arrived in the talking pause just for a moment. She hung up her coat. The police won't stop calling the landline, and you stayed in your bathtub for weeks. They don't care too much to come over, 'cause the milk in the fridge always reeks. It's sour by Sunday, still there the next day. And Louise Hannigan's chosen to change her name back to her dad's. The postman, he sees her with lust in his eyes. It's the most attention she's had in such a long time. She's moving out soon. And summer is stuck in your diary again, and the traffic is holding up calls. Your love is so lovely when played in reverse, and interface everything falls. Falls, falls, falls. Is it worth it at all? Your old friend was passing through town for the day and needed a warm place to sleep. He walked around nervously holding his bag with wasted words stuck in his teeth. It's 10:15 and he won't go to bed. And Louise is hanging her laundry. The neighbor, he stops and he stares. She's trying her best to ignore him, but it seems like he doesn't care if she sees him or not. He's shooting his shot. You're knee-deep in stale bread and mice traps and voicemails left on the machine. By daybreak you feel like a movie, a little man stuck in the screen, not trying too hard to move very far. Louise sees you parked by the lamppost. She's got a sad look in her eyes. She pulls up and parks there beside you. roll down the window and cries, quiet and cold. There you go. And summer's stuck in your diary again, and the traffic is holding up calls. Your love is so lovely when played in reverse, and into place everything falls, 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 falls. Is it worth it at all? You sit there and watch her in silence, and she stops and wipes out her tears. She looks at you softly and says something about how she hasn't done that for years. It's getting real cold. She's not wearing her coat. You let her inside and she sits down on the sofa you found on the street. She looks at the paintings you've done on the walls and says, well, isn't that neat? Now she knows she's got someplace to go. And summer's stuck in your diary again, and the traffic is holding up calls. Your love is so lovely when played in reverse, and into place everything falls, 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 falls. Is it worth it at all? Falls, falls, falls. Is it worth it at all? Thank you. This next song is called Indiana, and I wrote this song when I realized, like, oh, there are 50 states, and I feel like I've never really met that many people who lived in Indiana. And then immediately after I started, kind of saying that and using that as my little, like, pre-song story, a bunch of people started coming up after shows and telling me that they lived in Indiana, and I was like, well, thanks for ruining my thing, like, really. So this song's called Indiana. Happy birthday, I wished you happy birthday, but it wasn't your birthday, so I gave you a card to say that I was sorry for saying happy birthday. You gave me a big hug and said you were moving to East Indiana, right next to Ohio, or that's what I remember from second grade. And outside it was raining, here and in Indiana. You were still holding me, here and in Indiana, here and in Indiana. Here comes the big parade of motorcycle enthusiasts. Here comes the army in a tank. Here comes the party that was postponed from a week ago. Here come the workers from the National Bank. But you're in Indiana. My other friend Judy, she was out with her boyfriend. They were out shopping when she just started crying, and she called me that moment, said she was so tired of moving so slowly. So then she started running, and her boyfriend ran after. Then he got winded. Judy's still running all the way to the Midwest. Seems like everyone's running here and in Indiana. Judy's still running here and in Indiana, here and in Indiana. Here comes the big parade of motorcycle enthusiasts. Here comes the army in a tank. Here comes the party that was postponed from a week ago. Here come the workers from the National Bank. But you're in Indiana. This other guy, Alan, we weren't really best friends, but we knew each other just from being around. Him and his wife Rachel, who was some kind of doctor, they were both chess players, the best in the town. The national tournament took place in Kentucky. The flight got delayed, but I guess they got lucky, 'cause they stayed in a motel in the outskirts of nowhere. Ended up loving the place that they'd found. It was in Indiana. just almost barely, ever so slightly. Here and in Indiana, here and in Indiana, 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 Anna, Indiana, 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 Indiana. Here comes the big parade of motorcycle enthusiasts. Here comes the army in a tank. Here comes the party that was postponed from a week ago. Here come the workers from the National Bank. But you're in Indiana, 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 Indiana. You're in Indiana, 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 Indiana. You're in Indiana, 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 Anna, Indiana, 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 Indiana. Thank you. This song is called Laundromat, and I wrote this because I had been listening to a lot of like Brazilian jazz and things like that, and I wanted to kind of give that a try while still keeping my own spin on it. So this song is called Laundromat, and this is my attempt to work with those major 7 chords. Yeah. Laundromat, meet me at the laundromat when you've had your fill of that job, that stupid job, that mindless occupation. Radio, no one likes the radio. Not like you did when you broke your bone and you laid in bed and played that station for hours. My days smell like detergent and other people's clothes, and some no one on that station that only you would know plays all the time. Pouring rain, outside it is. Pouring rain, not that nice rain, it's just boring rain, and it's fogging up the windows. On the phone, when you walk in, you are on the phone, talking with some aunt that I don't know, while the game show plays softly in the background. My days smell like detergent and other people's clothes, and some no one on that station that only you would know plays all the time. Laundromat, meet me at the laundromat when you've had your fill of that job, that boring job, that mindless occupation. My days smell like detergent and other people's clothes, and some no one on that station that only you would know plays all the time. Plays all the time. Plays all the time. Thank you. I'm gonna switch to ukulele for a couple songs. Sip of water. Water break, water break. This song is called Square Peg Girls. It's probably one of my favorites to play. And I like this song because I think it kind of encapsulates like a lot of different types of people and different types of girls who, may feel isolated or distant or weird or quirky. But I'll let the song speak for itself, I suppose. There's a girl who goes to my school. I think she sees ghosts, but I can't really tell, so I told her she looked really cool. She ignored me, so I said it again. She turned and looked right at me. Said, I can see you, can you see me? Which was weird, but I went with it. And now we're best friends. There's this girl in the back of my class. Her hair is black, and she slicks it all back, and she wears these boots with a heel, which would hurt my feet, but I guess she can't feel it, and she talks to herself sometimes, stuck in a circle in her mind, and I always want to talk to her, but I don't. Square peg girls, they think you're scary, but you're just unordinary. Square peg girls, you like movies with weird endings. Square peg girls, you like the beach when it's cold outside. Square peg girls, I think you're awesome, so please don't hide from me. There's a girl who lives down the street. She wears cool shirts and she doesn't eat meat, and she plays the drums in a band. I'm not sure what kind, but I'm sure it's a good band. And she rides her bike with me to the grocery store and through the library, and she works after school, stocking shelves at the cemetery. There's a girl, I don't know her name. She likes comedy and thinks everyone's insane, and she mostly listens to punk, but sometimes jazz and sometimes funk. And she goes to the movies each week, or at least she tries to, but sometimes it's tough, and she never ever wears jeans. I don't know what that's about. Square peg girls, they think you're scary, but you're just unordinary. Square peg girls, you like movies with weird endings. Square peg girls, you like the beach when it's cold outside. Square peg girls, I think you're awesome, so please don't hide from me. There's a girl who lives next door. She looks like you, I don't know a lot more, except she brushes her teeth twice a day. Or at least I assume so, but it might not be true. And she's got a purple backpack. It used to close, but then the zipper snapped. And she's got a cute little dog, which is cool, I guess. Square peg girls, they think you're scary, but you're just unordinary. Square peg girls, you like movies with weird endings. Square peg girls, you like the beach when it's cold outside. Square peg girls, I think you're awesome, so please don't hide from me, from me, from me, from me, from me, from me. I think you're awesome, so please don't hide from me. Thank you. This song is called Email from the Moon, and I wrote this. I don't write a lot of like love songs really, and I'm not sure if this counts as one, but I wrote it from the perspective of someone who doesn't really know too much about the moon, so that's cool, no research. Yeah, this is Email from the Moon. Write me an email from the moon. It's been a long time since I've seen you last, and I'm wondering how you're doing. Do you still wear that scarf I sent to you for your birthday about 2 years ago? The one that's green and blue. Write me an email from the moon, because I miss you and your smile and your tasteless arm tattoo. Do you ever look at Earth and think of me? Or are you thinking about reading or buying groceries or watching TV? 'Cause when I look at the moon, I think of you. How's your grandma? How's your dad? Does that song still make you sad? I made a list from A to Z of all the photos you sent me. I'd love a call once in a while Did already say I miss your smile, I like your haircut, it looks nice. A simple email will suffice. Write me an email from the moon, from the moon. Is it worse or is it better? Do you miss yellow balloons? I read stories about aliens, are any of them true? I bought a plant last week at Costco and I named it after you. Do you still even love me? I wish I knew. How's your grandma? How's your dad? Does that song still make you sad? I made a list from A to Z of all the photos you sent me. I'd love a call once in a while to already say I miss your smile. I like your haircut, it looks nice. A simple email will suffice, will suffice. Write me an email from the moon, from the moon. Describe the weather or the way it smells or just a day in your shoes. Are people nice? Is your job fun, fun, fun? Do you miss life on earth? Do you miss anyone? Do you still even love me? I wish I knew. How's your grandma? How's your dad? Does that song still make you sad? I made a list from A to Z of all the photos you send me. I'd love a call once in a while. Did I already say I miss your smile? I like your haircut, it looks nice. A simple email will suffice, 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 will suffice. Thank you. I got this water bottle with these little lions on it, and I'm really excited. I love it. The little lions, they're like playing with little red balls. It's so cute. This song is called Routine. It's one of my older songs, but time is relative, I guess, so. $1.99 for a carton of eggs at the local grocery store. Crack them before the sun starts to rise. To no less, no more, no more. Caught the late night programming on the TV last night, on the TV. That was me on screen, looking sweet and green. The critics say I'm a sight to see. Routine keeps the house clean, keeps the roof from falling down, keeps the kettle hot. Every intrusive thought can come around every hour or so, every hour, or you'll fall out of this natural arrangement. It seems clear cut to you. Come up, come down, jackal lose his crown. If he comes down this hill again, you'll forget your show, and before you know it, forget about the eggs too. I'll be all dressed up with nowhere to go, and all because of you. Oh, routine keeps the house clean, keeps the roof from falling down, 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 keeps the kettle hot. Every intrusive thought can come around every hour or so, every hour, or $1.99 for a carton of eggs at the local grocery store. Crack them before the sun starts to rise. To no less, no more, no more. Routine keeps the house clean, keeps the roof from falling down, 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 keeps the kettle hot. Every intrusive thought can come around every hour or so. Every hour or so. Thank you. This song is called Honesty, and I kind of discovered after a period of time that I had a bunch of songs that were like really fast songs in the key of C, and I tried to break from that, but then I wrote this song and I was like, I'll put it off one more song. So this is Honesty. There's an honesty inbox, fans and flip phones and taking notes and collecting and boxing things and watching TV with the volume up. There's an honesty in answering when you know it's someone you don't want to see, in small talk and staying quiet when you don't agree. So count your friends, 'cause you'll lose some in the end, and write things down or they'll end up in the ground. I shouldn't have to, I shouldn't have to, I shouldn't count you anymore. There's an honesty in there's an honesty in there's an honesty in answering when you know it's someone you don't want to see, in small talking, staying quiet when you don't agree. Agree, oh agree. There's an honesty in yelling when you shouldn't, foul language in pretending, in citronella in tumbleweed, and stealing when you give in to greed, stopping when the light turns red and hearing the alarm, but staying in bed in long hair and gray hair and losing the game 'cause you know it's fair. It's fair, oh it's fair. So count your friends, 'cause you'll lose some in the end, and write things down or they'll end up in the ground. I shouldn't have to, I shouldn't have to, I shouldn't count you anymore. So count your friends, 'cause you'll lose some in the end, and write things down or they'll end up in the ground. I shouldn't have to, I shouldn't have to, I shouldn't count you anymore. I suppose that is to happen when you have 10,000 lyrics also dense. This song is called Big Things. This is I think this the second song I ever wrote. So it's quite old, but yeah, big things. Big things coming when the acorns fall and the trees don't seem to care at all, and the roads all damp and the streetway lamp shines through my skin, bone and all. Big things coming when the sky's not clear and Mama Doe can't find her baby dear, and the world doesn't sing when the church bells ring and the future is unclear. I've got blisters on my fingers and bad words on my tongue, and my feet are awfully tired. Big things coming when your shoes don't fit, and in the cherry you can't find a bit. And my voice doesn't ride on the waves outside, and my body's taking a hit. I've got blisters on my fingers and bad words on my tongue, and my feet are awfully tired. Tell me, when will I be done? Tell me, when will I be done? Tell me, when will I be done? Thank you. I'm gonna go back to guitar. This song is called Sardine Dreams, and I wrote this song, I originally wrote it from the perspective of a sardine, and then the chorus was what the chorus is in this song, and then I decided that I hated the rest of the song, but I liked the chorus, so I kind of like grafted it to another song. She blinks twice when she lies, and she never learned how to swim. She counts the bugs up in the sky, and when you play Scrabble, she wins. She left a voicemail at 2:15, and by 2:30 she's gone. She's loved you since you were 16, but all that's left is a letter on your front lawn, and it says, sardine dreams don't wake me up. I'm younger than I look, and I look pretty young. Sardine dreams don't let me go. I'd rather be in the sea than go with this flow. She's always been cryptic, but in a straightforward way. It's so unlike her to carry through. But if she left on the 9th of May, she might not return until next June. And when you call, the operator's voice is faded, and you can't hear what she says. You slam the phone down, you'll call back in a minute. In your sleep, your words run through your head, and they say, sardine dreams don't wake me up. I'm younger than I look, and I look pretty young. Sardine dreams don't let me go. I'd rather be in the sea than go with this flow. The phone starts ringing around 4:30, and ID says the caller has no name. If she offered you a visit, you'd be tempted, but she just tells you that she's ashamed. She blinks twice when she lies, and she never learned how to swim. She counts the bugs up in the sky, and as she's ending the call, she softly sings, sardine dreams don't wake me up. I'm younger than I look, and I look pretty young. Sardine dreams don't let me go. I'd rather be in
to talk to you, Miss Sophie. Thank you so much. How beautiful.
Thank you.
Let's trade for the mic behind you.
Sure.
And I'm going to start right in and ask you about finding your voice. I mean, I'm of a seasoned age, and I still know a lot of my friends are still looking to find what they're passionate about. You seem so confident. I want to know, how did you find your voice, and how did you have the courage to share it?
I don't know. I mean, I suppose I've always been pretty outgoing, and I started playing piano when I started teaching myself piano when I was probably like 9, and I took lessons for a little bit, and then I didn't take lessons, and then I took lessons a little bit again. But I think what really helped me gain that confidence was learning the theory behind everything, and then being able to put that to use. And then from there, I was kind of like, oh, well, I have all this writing that I really am proud of and that I really love, and that I feel like I put a lot of myself into, so why not share it?
Wow. Now, do you read music?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
I don't usually, because I don't really have a need for it with what I do, but when I'm playing piano, I try to pick it up again.
Some of the greatest don't read a note.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad about that at all. Just so curious, because it seems like such a natural feeling that you give us.
Thank you.
Also, something you mentioned while you were playing, how heavy or word laden your songs are.
Yeah.
And you really don't depend on a lot of filler there. Is it just because you got so much to say, or do you gravitate towards that style?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been kind of intrigued with people who can fit a lot into a little bit of time, like people who are singers and songwriters who are very narrative, without it being like a musical or anything. Like in just one song, they can tell a whole story. So one of my favorite songwriters, John Darnielle of the Mountain Goats, he has whole albums about just like a couple going through a divorce or like something like that, and I think that narrative is really important, and part of that is being able to fit a lot of words in one space. At least that's for me kind of what it is, because I like to fit wordplay into a lot of my songs, and funny little like rhyme schemes that, or little, what are they called, Easter eggs that maybe like only people who know me would pick up.
Yeah.
So things like in Sardine Dreams, I say she might have left on the 9th of May and wouldn't return till June, and May 9th is my birthday, and so people pick up on that.
Yeah.
A couple people, and like in Square Peg Girls, like, people who don't wear jeans, I like never wear jeans. I've always been a skirt girl, but little things like that I think are fun to just put in there.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. And again, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm going to let everyone know that you're just turning 17. You've got all this talent. Just turning 17. Let me ask you about recording. Do you have any recordings made, or what does that look like for you?
I have some live recordings from the Ivory sessions in Deep River. Aaron and Frank and Matt did a really amazing job on those. They sound beautiful. I haven't put them up anywhere because I need to pick an album cover.
Yeah.
But
not a bad dilemma to have.
Yeah. But I have those recordings, and then I have stuff up on Instagram and Facebook and things like that.
Okay, so now I want to go. I'm not sure which way to go here. Let me ask you about who you play with first. I want to go right back to the album cover, because I got something else I want to talk to you about. But when you are out and playing, are you a solo act? Do you have other musicians you work with?
A lot of times I'll play alone, but Matt Seymour, he's a percussionist. He's really amazing. He plays with me sometimes, and that's always really fun. I just have a lot of fun with him, and he adds, a new like twist on my music, and it's a lot of fun to play with him. And then sometimes when I'm playing out, if there's like a house bassist or drummer, I like always like without fail jump on the opportunity to play with other people. And I even have friends who are like saxophone players and trombone players, and like even though it might not totally click with my music, it's always really fun to like get them up on stage and have them, playing like a jazz solo to a not jazz song. I don't know, it's fun.
Very cool. Does collaborating also appeal to you as far as the writing process? Did you ever, it sounds to me like you do a lot of your writing solo. Do you ever collaborate in the writing process?
I've never written a song with anyone, except for maybe when I was like really little. But for the most part, I find that once I start writing a song, it's kind of like, okay, I'm in a direction and that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
And I never really stop to think about, oh, maybe this line would sound better here, or anything like that. It's pretty like jump started without edits.
Yeah.
So I don't like even that. Like I don't tend to go back and revise work a lot. At least in music, in school definitely. But so I think like collaboration, I'm definitely open to it.
Yeah.
But I think the way that I write usually is not super conducive to
bring
a
it someone
collaborative
saying,
environment.
Yeah. Are you doing any of it? But is everything electronic for you? Is everything on a computer? Or do you keep a journal-y or kind of
I write
songbook?
everything
You do?
by hand. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't have everything in one place. So I usually pick out like computer copy or paper, and I'll be like, I have an idea. I gotta like write everything down because I get worried about things getting lost online.
Yeah.
You know, like. Which obviously, like, it's much more likely for a piece of paper to get lost, but...
no, and the paper will be much more appealing when it's in a museum or in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame someday.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah. And it's fun, too, because I can see, like, a lot of times I'll write in pen, and so I'll have, like, full lines just, like, crossed out, crossed out, crossed out. And it's interesting to, like, go back and say, oh, was I really thinking of writing that there?
Yeah.
Like, was that really the first thought that came to my mind? I'm glad I picked the other one, or... oh, maybe this would sound better, you know?
Yeah.
To see those like options in the process.
Very cool. Let's go back to talking a little bit about album covers and art in general, because for full disclosure here, Miss Sophie, I do know you from Valley. You're a student at Valley Regional. And in addition to having all these wonderful musical blessings, you are an incredible artist. I've seen your work. You know, my son also does some art, and so we've been at some of the events together.
Yeah.
And I'm always blown away by what I see that you bring out. When you're talking about album art, are you going to think about melding those two passions together? Or
Definitely,
how does that look to you?
I want to make my own album cover. You know, I'm really into that. I just, with AP testing and all kinds of things, it's a little hard to find time. But I have a lot of art pieces that I think would kind of suit that format well, and are very like graphic and kind of would, you know, be appealing to the eye and maybe would hopefully draw people to buy a CD or something.
Oh, I'm sure it would. I think at this point we need to do a shout out to Mr. Val Kropp.
Yeah.
We'll put that out there because I know that's part of the process, and certainly you need people that encourage you along the way. Is there anyone in particular that you think about when you think about who's really motivated you or inspired you along the way?
I mean, my parents, obviously, and then really good friends of mine, Maeve, Gabby Aurora, Lindsay, Abby. I feel like I'm giving an Oscar speech.
It's good practice.
Shay. No, I think the biggest inspirations for me are people just that I look up to, like in the music world. So like Carrie Brownstein from Slater Kinney in Portlandia, I really look up to her. Simon and Garfunkel, like all kinds of just a wide range of people, Leonard Cohen, Regina Spektor. Those are the kind of people that I find really like inspire me. I'm like, you know, just to like sit there and start writing a song and think like that could be, you know, that could be me, or like I want to, you know, kind of emulate something that they gave to the world and, you know, try and put a spin on it.
And give your own slice of originality. Well, no, you know, you've got the art world, you've got the musical world. I know that you also have a gift. There's a contest that you're doing incredibly well in as well. So in school, you're, you know, excelling. But do you find that, and it's kind of like that, you want to be this when you grow up kind of question, but do you feel that you have a calling, that this is something you want to make your life's work, or?
I think what I've found is that with everything that I've done, like across my life, is all kind of mixed media. I have music, I love theater, I'm a big like writer, I write plays and poetry and short stories and all kinds of things. And I think it's difficult for me to pick one.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I'm going to. I kind of want to keep doing this like mixed media lifestyle, for lack of a better term, that I'm kind of on track for. You know, because I don't want to like pick music and stop painting or anything like that. So, yeah, I think that sort of every direction that I'm going in, I want to keep going in.
If anyone can do it all, my money is on you. I mean, it's really, and it's really a gift to us. You know, I was thinking more about your such a treat getting to see you play for us here, but people that are seeing this and want to catch you live, is there somewhere they can go to find out about that? Are there certain places that you are playing that you can tell us about?
Well,
the first thing I would say is to go to my Facebook page, which is just Sophie Spanner, Spanner with one N, not like the wrench. And I post most of my shows there. Instagram, just look up Sophie Spanner, same thing, one N. One show that I do is I do a sort of bi-monthly show, bi being every other month, at Nightingale's Acoustic Cafe in Old Lyme. And so I pick someone to open for me, and then they do about an hour set, and then Matt Seymour and I will do like an hour set. So that's not happening this month. It's the third Saturday of every month, 7 to 9 at Nightingale's.
And they have a great website too.
Yes,
People
yes.
can check that out as well.
They're very active on same thing, Facebook, Instagram. They're always posting about upcoming shows. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing a thing in my school talent show.
It's nothing to laugh at. That's
yeah.
terrific.
But I think I'm doing something for like a conservation or Earth Day thing. It was supposed to be for Earth Day, and then it was postponed, and then postponed again. Yeah, but Nightingale's, I say, is the place to go.
Well, it's great. It's great that we know that we can find you somewhere. When you talk about Nightingale's, you know, I know Dot puts a real premium on local and supporting
Yes.
local, whether it's a venue, whether it's somewhere to shop. Do you have a favorite as a young woman, a favorite local spot that you would maybe want to mention?
I mean, I would say Nightingale's is the one that I'm most thankful for. Gail and Dan have done an amazing job, and they really foster a sense of community among young musicians, and really help to fuel that energy and that excitement about music. So I'd have to go with Nightingale's.
I love it, and I think that's very worthy. If you had a superpower, not that I don't think you already do already, but if you had a superpower, could pick any, what would you pick?
I feel like I'd probably go with, this is a tough one, invisibility, probably. I feel like that would be fun.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's like, I don't know, you could be sneaky and play fun
I
pranks.
love
I don't know.
that. I think that's so interesting. Someone that's so brave, that is willing to get up and share so much of themselves, that would be your answer. I'm glad I asked that. That's very cool. Do you ever think about touring down the road? Is that something you think about? You would want to spread, you could go to Indiana?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm totally I love road trips. I feel like, it could be a lot of fun. I'm not really sure how to go about planning one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely something that I'm excited for, hopefully in the future, as an option.
Yeah. Is it hard to stay grounded as you step out and you get more and more success? Is it ever hard for you to kind of balance that? Do you ever have to keep it in check at all?
Not really. I mean, the hardest thing to balance, I think, is school and music.
Yeah.
Just because I try to take every opportunity that I can to play music. But obviously, staying kind of diligent on my schoolwork.
Yeah.
But that's really the only challenge that I've ever kind of come across as far as balance in my life. Otherwise, I think I just like to just go with the flow and play shows whenever I can play shows wherever I can play shows.
You may like to go with the flow with the shows you play, but I got to tell you, the Square Peg song, it just gave me goosebumps. I mean, I think that in today's world, where so many women feel pressure to fit in and to celebrate being a square peg, and not only to celebrate that, the song to me felt like reaching out to other girls. That is something I just want to ask you about. I mean, that is a difficult thing. It's really easy to kind of stand by the side and don't notice me, but to reach out and try to be more inclusive and lift others up.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what that feels like to you, or maybe I'm misreading.
No, definitely. I think of myself when I was younger, and I was always kind of the quirky kid, or the weird one, the one who never wore jeans, like I said.
The not ordinary gal.
Yeah, the not ordinary gal. Kind of, on my own path. And I think it's really important, I was really confident in myself and was very comfortable doing that. And I realized that not all girls are. So I think it's an important thing to kind of show them that it's okay, and that, there are people who are like you, well, not like you, but who...
You're not alone.
Yeah, exactly. And, I wrote in that song, it's parts are inspired by my friends, parts are inspired by my life and my experiences, other parts are just, completely made up. But I think it's important to reach out to people like that so that they don't stop being like that.
Yeah. Did you grow up in the Tri-Town area?
Yes.
Is that you grew
Yep.
up? I'm just marveling because I think about it. It's such, I live there too, and it's the
Yeah.
kind of place where kids still walk around with a fishing pole over their shoulder.
Yeah.
But to have such a worldly view, it's a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
It's a lovely seeing you again, because I know we've met. I want to remind everybody we have had the pleasure of listening to lovely Sophie Spanner. I am looking forward to listening to so much more. Certainly excited about a recording coming out, and can't wait to see what you come up with that. As we're headed out, would you mind just playing us out a little bit more?
Shall I?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I get up all the you don't want to drag your mic with you. Thank you all so much. I want to give an extra special thanks to Miss Dot. Thank you for having me. I am so appreciative. This has been an absolute thrill, and she will be back. I promise I will let go of the mics and the camera for her. Take care. Take it away, Miss Sophie.
You saw her at the store. She had soup, but she needed more. The kind with the pasta O's. I can't say the name 'cause of copyright laws. You saw her at the bank. Her clothes were bright, but her eyes were blank. You tried to say hello. It was quick, it was nice, but she had to go. At the time, only lines were where you two collided. Buying lemons, buying limes, buying one-sided arguments and books on tape, and shoes and ties and hair gel. But all that would change only when the cashier rings the bell. You saw her at the Blockbuster. You figured that you must be in a dream. She told you about her twin. All the games switched up names and the trouble they got in. You saw her standing still at the tree that grew by the windowsill, and she gazed in a haze as a DVD played. It was some stupid flick, but she still seemed amazed. At the time, only lines were where you two collided. Buying lemons, buying limes, buying one-sided arguments and books on tape, and shoes and ties and hair gel. But all that would change only when the cashier rings the bell.